I'm Ken Verderami, and welcome to another edition of the Ultimate Steel Shooter, where we talk about all things, and only things, Steel Challenge. Alright guys, before we jump into the next stage in our continuing series about talking about the best way to shoot and the strategies associated with each individual stage, and then some training techniques to help you improve that individual stage. A couple quick housekeeping things. As always, remember, if you're not already a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. The analytics still show over 65% of those of you watching the videos are not subscribers. The only way the channel is going to grow and get bigger in the search engines and get access to more people, and so they can watch it and even know that the channel is out there to see, is to get more subscribers, get more likes and comments. So please, if you like this content of this particular video, hit the like button. As always, make a comment. I read every single one of them. If you've got any questions about anything you've seen, please ask a question. You can send me an email, but I'd actually prefer you ask a question right there in the comment section, so other people can see it, benefit from it, and then I can answer all that good stuff. All right, guys. So also, hey, I just heard about this, so I want to pass this along too as well. Apparently, the Area 4 Steel Challenge Championship is going to have a dry fire division for the first time ever. Got it approved and everything in that match. And in order to execute that dry fire division, they are going to use my Steel Shoot banners for the 8 stages. So pretty cool. One thing I'll tell you all is if you're out there in that Area 4, and I've already told this to the organizers, if you shoot that division in the Area 4 Steel Challenge match, send me an email with proof of match registration and payment, and I will give you 10% off any purchase of a complete 8-stage banner bundle, and that will be good for 30 days following completion of the match. You'll send me an email, I'll give you a special coupon code, you go in there, and it'll take the 10% off the top, and you can order the bundle. Okay, so if you've been thinking about it and you're out in the Area 4 and you're shooting, this is your chance to see them for real, up close, and then get a nice discount and order them. Okay, so let's get on with the discussion. So today, I want to talk about Accelerator. Okay, and let me show you real quick what it looks like in banner form, and then we'll get back to doing this. Okay, so take a real quick up, and this is how I have it set up in my house. That is what Accelerator looks like in banner form. All right, so let's talk about, as always, the first thing about a stage is shooting order. Shooting order accounts for more mistakes in Steel Challenge and slower times in Steel Challenge than any other particular issue shooters have. If you get the shooting order wrong, you're going to struggle. No matter how good a shooter you are, there's somebody who has an equal skill set, or maybe even a lower skill set, who shoots it faster because they've got a better shooting order. So shooting order is always, always critical. This is one of those, I'm going to tell you, there's really only one really good way to shoot this. You're going to see it shot different ways, but I think they all have issues. So the way I shoot it, and the way you're going to see most of the top shooters shoot it, is you're going to shoot it straight across and then come back to the stop. So you're going to shoot it 1, 2, 5, 4, stop. Okay. As always, remember, standing in the box, looking left to right. Plate number 1 is always the leftmost plate. Plate number 5 is always the rightmost plate as you see the stage standing in the box. And then the stop plate is just whenever. So it's the 10-inch plate, the 24-inch by 18-inch rectangle, then you go all the way across to the 20-yard rectangle, then come back to the 20-yard 12-inch plate, and then the stop plate. There are a ton of reasons why this is the best shooting order. Now, before I get into some of those, you'll see 2 common shooting orders I see. One is people start at the 20-yard 18 by 24 inch plate, and they'll shoot 5, 4, come all the way to 1, and go 1, 2, stop. And then the other shooting order I see a lot from some of the shooters who are not real confident in their skills is they'll draw or shoot the close 24 by 18, 24 by 18 inch rectangle, and they'll go 2, 1, and then 4, 5 stop, or 2, 1, 5, 4 stop. Doesn't really matter. It's a horrible way. It's a horrible shooting order. Okay, but people who do that, right? They're not very confident in their skill set, and they want to draw to a big, easy target. Well, that's fine. However, it causes you to make so many other mistakes that cost you speed, that any gain you get, no matter how fast you are on the draw and can shoot that 18 by 24 inch rectangle, it doesn't matter. You can't make up for it in the rest of the stage. Okay. Now, a lot of people argue that that it's a great shooting order going 5, 4, 1, 2 stop, because you can go 5, 4, get the difficult one out of the way, then come to the 2 easy ones, 1, 2, and accelerate right to the stop plate. Okay. So I actually tried that for a while. I found I was making many more mistakes, and I was not any faster than shooting it 1, 2, 5, 4 stop. Okay. Here's why. Remember, number one, you're going to draw to a very easy target. That 10-inch plate, it's close. It's no big deal. It's easy to shoot fast, and so that gets you started, and you're going to shoot straight across, and you can be very aggressive on that first target. Okay, so you shoot 1, you shoot 2. Now, if you remember, I normally advocate you don't want to do wide transitions where you can avoid them when you're going to or from a difficult target. Okay, and the transition from 2 to 5 is a very wide transition. However, it's 2 relatively easy targets. Yes, the one plate's at 20 yards, but don't let that fool you. Remember, I've talked about this many times, that Steel Challenge stages are designed to trick you into thinking targets that are long distance away are more difficult than short distance, when in fact they're actually easier targets than some other ones, because the target area is bigger. This is one of those. So going from 2 to 5 is a relatively easy transition between two big targets, and therefore that wide transition is okay. The other thing is, because you're going to go on 5, which is an easier target to shoot, when possible, you want your reversal transition on an easy target. Okay, 5 is a relatively easy target, and so you can do a reversal transition, still be aggressive, which is important, and then continue on to what is the most difficult plate in the series, or what we call the trap plate, which is plate 4, which is the 20-yard, 12-inch plate, which you have to give the most attention to. Number one, it's relatively speaking the most difficult target on the stage, and number 2, remember, after 4, the next thing is the stop plate. So if you go 1, 2, 5, 4, you rush through that last one and burn through the stop plate, and then only then realize you missed it, you've just ate a 3-second penalty, because you can't go back because you've already hit the stop plate. Okay, so there's not a lot of room for error there, so you need to pay attention on that final plate there. However, when you look at that as compared to the other orders of shooting it, you still get more relative benefit by going in that direction. And again, remember, single reversal transition on stage if at all possible, and try to shoot as many targets as you can in a straight line before you do the reversal. Okay. Now, the other thing about this target, or this stage that's set up, right, is that you've got big plates, little plates, and long distance plates as well. And it looks like you kind of got to be all over the place. But again, if the plates are designed so that if you index the first 10-inch plate, plate number 1, correctly, you can go straight across the stage, big target, long distance, smaller target, and back, and not move your index up and down. You can shoot straight across, reverse, and come back, and stay level. The stage is designed in order for you to do that. Okay. Now, one of the things I will tell you, to be honest, right, it took me a very, very long time to figure out how to shoot this stage in under 9 seconds in rimfire pistol. I struggled with it for a long time, and one of the things that I finally realized is that you can't slow down as you're moving through these targets and still make a good time. You need to continue to accelerate. So you shoot 1. When you go from 2 to 5, there's a tendency, because you know you're coming up on a reversal transition, to kind of decelerate because you know you got to stop and change direction. Resist that temptation. Accelerate all the way to the stop plate. Okay, it's a big target relative, so there's more room for error. So you don't have to be as precise, and because you don't have to be as precise, you can be more aggressive. Get to that plate, make a good hit on it, and then reverse directions and make sure that you give plate number 4, the hardest target on the stage, all the attention it needs, and then accelerate into the stop plate again. Okay. When you learn that kind of cadence, you'll see your time start to drop. You don't want to slow down as the targets get farther and farther away, right? That's it. The stage is designed to kind of make you think you should be doing that, but the target area is relatively large for target 5, and so you don't need to do that, okay? So pay attention to that when you're doing that. The other thing that's really cool about this stage, and I use it when I'm teaching. Number 1 is I can set up this stage for an entire shooting lesson, and I can show students every aspect of technique required to be a good steel challenge shooter, except for footwork in outer limits, all on a single stage. Right? So it has small targets, it has big targets, it has short transitions, it has wide transitions, it has narrow targets or narrow transitions, and it has long targets and difficult targets and easy short targets. Okay, it's got all the elements all combined in a single stage. So from a training or from an instructor standpoint, it's kind of nice. I can be very efficient and use one stage and get through an entire couple-hour lesson. The same thing holds true as a shooter when you're working on your own training. Right? If you want to remember, I talk about being efficient in your training. It helps you in the long run become a better shooter quicker. And I know I've said this many times, but I've never spent, except for the once a year when Ben Steiger comes out and we spend 4 days shooting, I've never spent more than an hour at the range during an individual training session. Not once, ever. And the reason I know that for a fact is that I can't focus more than about an hour intensely while I'm training, and so I know my sessions are always under an hour. And one of the ways you do that is be efficient. I can set up a single stage and work on fundamental elements of steel challenge with just a single stage, and I can also do cold stage shooting as well. So I can do lots of different things in a training session and just set the stage one time. So from that standpoint, it's a really important stage and a very useful stage for you to use in developing your skills. All right, so let's talk about what you should do then if you're going to use this, how to go about training the most effectively. Number 1, like every stage, is to draw that first target. Okay, it's a 10-inch plate, short distance, right, 8 yards, and it's a 10-inch plate. It's very, very easy. Yes, it's a little bit wide to the left, but it means you just put your feet on the right square on the stage and rotate your upper body. Remember, this stage is one of the symmetric ones where the stop plate is in the center, lined up perfectly straight with the box. So line your feet up straight. You don't got to do anything, shift left or right like some other stages. Literally just stand straight in the box. You can stand all the way to the front or the middle, back. It doesn't really matter that much on this stage, whatever you're comfortable with. And then rotate your upper body to plate number 1 if you're a centerfire shooter, so you can do the surrender draw. If you're a rimfire shooter, well, you got to stand square because you got to point at the flag, but that's okay, right? You're going to come up and then you're going to rotate your upper body to shoot target 1. So you need to practice aggressive first shot draws or first shots if you're a rimfire shooter. Okay, that's the first key to this stage because it's a very easy first shot. You can't be taking 1.5 second draws to the first plate and shoot Accelerator very well. This is one of those sub 1 second draw first shots in center fire, and certainly if you're a rimfire shooter, you should be down in the 0.76, even 0.5s. Right? I typically shoot this in 0.5 or under first shot, okay, with a pistol. You can get faster with a rifle. So no reason you can't do that. So that's the first thing you want to work on. The next thing you want to work on is that long transition, 2 to 5. Okay, my micro transition drill is a great one here where you draw and go 1, 2, 5. Okay, and then remember, you always do the next thing when you're shooting a micro drill, which in this case is dry fire to plate 4, but don't pull the trigger. Right, so that drill is draw first shot 1, 2, 5, and then make sure you get a good sight picture on 4. I would work on that transition a lot. That once you learn and can drop the time on that transition, that's the key to shooting this stage consistently well and really fast. So I would spend a lot of time on that one. And then the other micro transition is I would start lined up on plate 5 and then shoot 5, 4, 3, right? Get accustomed to how aggressive you can be based on your current skill set and still hit the 12-inch, 20-yard plate every time and then go to the stop plate. Okay? So those 3 micro transition drills, an aggressive first shot plus 1 drill to practice your draw, because this should be an aggressive first shot since it's an easy first shot. And then always do cold stage runs, again, to practice the stage together and also put some match pressure on you as well. And then the last thing I'll tell you is, if you remember my book, The Pyramid Drill, where you start out and you shoot the stage 1, 2, dry to 3, and you shoot a bunch of repetitions. Then you shoot 1, 2, 5, dry to 4, a bunch of repetitions. Then 1, 2, 5, 4, dry to the stop plate, a bunch of repetitions, and then the whole stage 1, 2, 5, 4, stop. Right? Burns a lot of ammo, but it helps you build up those transitions and see how your speed is doing. And it's pretty obvious when you do a pyramid type drill where you have issues on the stage in individual transitions, and then you can go back and you can work on that specific part of the stage that you're having trouble with and try to figure out what the issue is and try to fix that and then go back to the stage as a whole. All right, guys, I think that's probably it for Accelerator. It's kind of a cool stage, a lot going on in that stage, all sorts of skills needed to shoot it well, and it really is, it's an interesting benchmark, if you will, to how you are as an overall steel challenge shooter. If you can shoot Accelerator well, consistently, then you should have no issue with any other stage because all the other stages are just sub-elements. Everything else is contained in Accelerator, okay? All right, so remember, if you're interested in my dry fire training banners so you can practice these kind of things in dry fire as well as going on the range, head on over to my website at steelshootbanners.com and you can see all the Steel Challenge banners. You can see all 40 plus USPSA training banners, many of them patterned after Ben Steiger's training drills. And then we've got 15 official classifier stages you can go in banner form. And then we also got the Glock Shooting Sports Federation 3 official stages in banner form as well, including a plate rack for those of you who would like to play around with a plate rack in dry fire. There's lots you can learn shooting plate racks. So head on over to the website. Don't forget the deal if you're an Area 4 Steel Challenge shooter and you're going to the match and you haven't already done so, this is your opportunity to get a 10% discount on a full 8-stage banner set if you shoot the dry fire division. Drop a comment below and let me know if you're going to shoot that match and then how it goes. I'm really curious to see how that goes. That sounds like it's going to be a pretty interesting format and it should be pretty neat. All right, and don't forget my 2 books, the only 2 books on the market dedicated 100% to the sport of Steel Challenge. Do You Feel the Need for Speed? Has all the technical, physical stuff. And then The Game Within the Game, Mastering the Steel Challenge mental game, which has obviously all the mental side of the sport. Both of those books are available at Amazon Books. And of course, as always, remember, slowing down is never the right answer. Never. You need to learn to see faster.
Great. Bye.